I want you to think of one person, just one. Someone who never really valued you the way you valued them. Maybe they're still in your life, maybe they're gone now, but I want you to really picture them for a second. Now, I want to ask you something honest. Was that the first time this happened to you? Or does this feel like a pattern? Like you keep ending up here with different faces but the same feeling? If this is a pattern for you, stay with me until the end. Because today we're going to talk about why this keeps happening and, more importantly, how to actually stop it. Let's start with the truth nobody wants to hear. This isn't bad luck, and it isn't a coincidence. Patterns don't repeat by accident. They repeat because something underneath them keeps recreating the same conditions over and over, without you consciously choosing it. Here's the first thing to understand. We don't choose people based on who's good for us. We choose people based on what feels familiar. If you grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent, where you had to work for attention, where affection came with conditions, a part of you quietly learned that this is what love feels like. Not because it was healthy, but because it was familiar. And here's the uncomfortable part. Familiar often feels like chemistry. That instant pull you feel towards someone, that feeling of something about them just draws me in, is sometimes just your nervous system recognizing an old familiar pattern, not necessarily a sign that this person is good for you. This is why people who are actually healthy for you can sometimes feel boring at first. Stable feels unfamiliar if you've never had it, and unfamiliar can feel like a lack of spark, when really, it's just the absence of chaos you mistook for chemistry. Let's slow down and sit with this. Think about the relationships in your life that hurt the most. Now think honestly, did they feel intensely familiar, almost from the beginning? Like you already knew this feeling, even though you'd never met this specific person before? That familiarity is often the clue. It's not fate. It's often an old wound wearing a new face. Now let's talk about why you might keep accepting less than you deserve, even when part of you knows better. The second thing to understand is this. People don't just show you how they'll treat you. You also show them how much you'll accept. This isn't about blame. This is about awareness. If you consistently tolerate being an afterthought, if you consistently make excuses for inconsistent effort, if you consistently stay quiet about being hurt because you're afraid of losing them, you are quietly teaching people that your boundaries are negotiable. Most people don't consciously decide to treat someone poorly. They simply keep doing whatever they're allowed to keep doing. If low effort is met with no consequence, low effort continues. If disrespect is met with more effort from your side to keep the peace, disrespect continues. This is not your fault, but it is, uncomfortably, within your influence to change. Let's talk about the specific patterns that keep this cycle going. The first pattern, confusing intensity for intimacy. Real intimacy is built slowly through consistency, honesty, and being truly known over time. Intensity is different. Intensity is fast, overwhelming, full of highs and lows. It feels like passion, but it's often just instability dressed up as excitement. If a relationship feels like a roller coaster, thrilling highs followed by devastating lows, that is not necessarily deep love. That is often anxiety, mistaken for depth. Real security tends to feel calm, not boring. Calm. The second pattern, overgiving to earn value. If somewhere inside you believe you have to prove your worth, through effort, through giving, through being endlessly understanding and patient, you will keep attracting people who are comfortable receiving without matching that effort, because you've unconsciously made it easy for them to take without giving back. People who deeply value themselves don't overgive to earn love. They give because they want to, from a place of abundance, not because they're afraid that if they stop giving, they'll be left. The third pattern, ignoring early warning signs. Almost everyone who ends up hurt in a relationship can look back and identify a moment early on. A small comment, a subtle inconsistency, a red flag disguised as a joke that they noticed and then quietly explained away. This happens because in the early stages, hope is louder than evidence. You want so badly for this to be different that you talk yourself out of what you're actually seeing. Let's talk about what actually breaks this cycle. Not surface-level advice, real internal shifts. The first shift, learn to sit with the discomfort of the boring stability long enough to see if it's actually safety. If someone shows up consistently, communicates clearly, and treats you with steady respect, and it feels strange or even slightly uninteresting at first, don't immediately dismiss it. Give it time. Sometimes what feels like a lack of spark is actually just your nervous system needing time to trust that peace isn't temporary. The second shift, stop confusing potential with reality. So many people stay in relationships not because of who someone actually is, but because of who they believe that person could become, if given enough time, enough love, enough patience. You cannot love someone into becoming who you need them to be. If you find yourself constantly explaining away who they currently are by focusing on who they might become, you are in a relationship with a possibility, not a person. The third shift, set the boundary the very first time, not the fifth time. Most people wait until they're deeply hurt, deeply invested, deeply attached, before they finally say something about disrespectful behavior. By then, it's much harder because you're not just setting a boundary, you're risking losing someone you've already given a piece of yourself to. Setting the boundary early, even when it feels like an overreaction, even when it feels like you might scare someone away, protects you from months or years of slowly shrinking yourself to keep the peace. Let's talk about something important. If you recognize yourself in this pattern, I need you to hear this clearly. This does not mean you are broken or unlovable or destined to keep repeating this forever. It means you learned early on, often through no fault of your own, that love requires proving, chasing, or shrinking yourself. And what was learned can be unlearned, slowly, through awareness, through practice, through choosing differently, even when the unfamiliar choice feels less exciting at first. Here's a way to think about this that might help you hold on to it. Imagine you've spent years living in a house with a broken door lock. Anyone could walk in, anyone could take what they wanted and leave without consequence. You got used to this. It became normal simply because it was what you knew. Fixing that lock, learning to say no, learning to hold a real boundary will feel strange at first. Maybe even a little lonely, since people who were used to walking in freely might not like the new lock. But eventually, that lock is what allows the right people, the ones who actually respect your space, to be let in intentionally, instead of everyone having equal access to a heart with no protection at all. Now let's talk about what to actually do with this practically, starting today. First, start noticing the difference between calm and intensity in how new people make you feel. Not to eliminate excitement, but to stop mistaking chaos for chemistry. Second, practice saying one honest boundary this week, something small. Which I'd prefer if you texted me back within a day, even just to say you're busy. See how it feels to ask for something instead of silently hoping for it. Third, when you catch yourself overgiving to earn someone's attention or approval, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I stop? That question alone, asked honestly and consistently, can start rewiring a lifetime of overgiving. Let me leave you with this. You are not doomed to keep attracting people who don't value you. You are simply someone who learned certain patterns at a time when you had no other option and no other model to learn from. But you are not that same person anymore. And every time you choose calm over chaos, boundaries over silence, your own worth over the need to prove it, you are quietly rewriting the pattern. It won't happen all at once. It rarely does. But one honest choice at a time, you move closer to relationships that don't require you to shrink, to chase, or to prove anything at all. You deserve to be loved the way you already know how to love others, fully, consistently, without conditions. If this meant something to you, you're not alone in this. So many people carry this exact pattern quietly, without ever hearing someone name it out loud. If you're new here, this channel is called Withinism. We talk about things like this every week, the patterns nobody names, and the honest work of actually changing them. If this video helped you even a little, subscribe, not for me, for the version of you that might need this reminder again on a harder day. And if someone comes to mind while watching this, someone who might be caught in this same pattern right now, send this to them. Sometimes the right words at the right moment are exactly what someone needs to finally see it clearly. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.